This is the Lectric XPress 500, or base model as they're calling it. It's the $999 model. In this review, I'll walk you through all the components, and yes, the awesome adjustable stem, quick release, talk you through everything you need to know. Then we'll get into some first-person riding footage, see how the bike performs. All right, over 1,000 watts. 26. And finally, some third-person riding footage where I'll give you the pros and cons of this electric bike. But first, let's take a closer look. I almost don't know what to say. Lectric continues to surprise me in a good way. It's a $999 e-bike, and it's not like you're compromising on customer support. It's not like you're compromising on quality of components. We'll get into that. It's not even like you're compromising on riding experience. It has a torque sensor. The fact that Lectric can actually produce a full-size $999 e-bike, I got it a little bit with the folding bike. They can ship it folded. It's in a smaller box. There's maybe some more margin in that, but a full-sized e-bike like this, I truly believe that this could be the best-selling e-bike ever. We'll get into that. But first, I need to break down the models. So there's really 4 different models. This is the $999 model with the 500 watt motor and 10.4 amp hour battery, but you can get the upgraded version that's with the 750 watt motor and 14 amp hour battery. We'll have a separate review of that bike, so you can check that out if that's what you're looking at. But even if you're considering that one, I think you might want to watch this review because it might meet your needs anyway. And after watching this, if you've decided that this bike or any other electric bike is your next e-bike, do me one quick favor. It only takes a second. Use our link down in the description before making your purchase. Thank you so much for your support. So I said 4 different models. That's because both the base model and the upgraded model is offered in a step-through. That's what you see here, or a high-step model. The step-through comes in white and the high-step comes in black. More importantly than the colors, the key distinction is the standover height. Just 18.5 inches on the step-through. It'll go up to 29 inches on the traditional triangle frame. Minimum seat height though, not much difference. 33 inches on the step-through or 33.5 on the high step. But this is the big one for a lot of people. With the step-through, you get these really nice swept-back handlebars. It puts you in a nice upright riding position, but even more, you also get an adjustable stem. With each frame, there is a different height recommendation. The step-through is for riders down to 5'2", up to 6'3". As a 6 foot tall rider, I can get full leg extension. And the high step is for riders 5'4" up to 6'4". Now I can use this adjustable stem and put these handlebars wherever I want them, either more forward, more back, and I can rotate the handlebars as well. So you're definitely getting more with the step through. So here's where I would ride this bike. Super comfortable. The step through weighs in at 57 pounds, the high step 58, but they both have a large weight capacity at 330 pounds. Now that we've talked about fitment, let's get into the components. Firstly, stopping power provided by hydraulic disc brakes. Awesome to see on a $1,000 electric bike. Lectric was the first in the market to do this, and those are paired with 180 millimeter rotors. The front wheel is attached with a through axle, which makes assembly so much easier. It's also more sturdy. Check out our full unboxing for more on that. Tires are 27.5 by 2.1 inches wide, street tread, and slime is pre-installed to help prevent flats. Lectric made a big deal when they first released this electric bike about the TC80 front suspension fork, 80 millimeters of travel, preload adjustment knob on the left, lockout on the right. And for a $999 e-bike, I don't think you can complain or ask for much better. But a nice aesthetic touch they did was they blacked out the stanchions to make everything look a little bit better. We have some cable wrapping at the front, electric badge on the head tube, cables running internally on the left side here, and yes, the awesome adjustable stem, quick release, Also perfect if you have multiple people ride the same electric bike. Moving on to the handlebars, hydraulic disc brake levers with motor cutoffs. We have ergonomic hand locking grips on the left and right. A right hand thumb throttle, Shimano's Sysindex 7-speed thumb shifter. And we have the same 3-button controls, but a new color LCD display. It's still pretty easy to read in sunlight, but moved to some shade, so it's a little bit easier. Battery capacity on the top, speed front and center, pedal assist all the way up to 5, odometer in the bottom. Hitting the power button will cycle through different information: trip, voltage, current, time, and back to odometer. There's a walk mode if you hold pedal assist down, indicator at the bottom, and the lights can be turned on by holding pedal assist up. Light indicator here. Now for those of you who like to tweak some settings, advanced settings are accessed by holding pedal assist up and down at the same time. Now the main ones that you're going to want to pay attention to is the 8P setting. You can change it from 32 kilometers an hour or 20 miles per hour up to 45 kilometers an hour or 28 miles per hour. We'll be sure to test that out in the first-person riding footage. The other setting you want to be aware of is P22. I'll talk a little bit more about that though in the first-person riding footage. We can get out of the settings by holding pedal assist up and down at the same time. Beneath the display is a USB-A port. So we have an Lectric branded front headlight that runs off the main battery. And in the rear, this one is mounted directly to the frame. It is not brake actuated. Next, we have the battery. It's located beneath the frame. Have the keys here. They enter on the left side, turn it to the left, and it pops out. And then there's a button. You press that, and you can remove the battery. There's a charge indicator at the bottom. The battery is UL2271 certified, and the entire bike is UL2849. And there's a charger port. Use the same one whether the battery is removed or in the frame. And you charge it up with a included 2-amp charger. And batteries are expensive, so why not protect them? Pick up a Ebike battery bag at shop.ebikeescape.com. It's a roll top bag, waterproof and flame resistant. It's great for when you're traveling with your electric bikes. I use them all the time, and that's not just because I sell them. To put the battery back, terminals on the bottom here. Put into the frame, snap into place, and you can remove the keys. Lectric branding on the down tube, Express at the top, and 3 mounting points. Perhaps you want to pick up the best water bottle cage on the market. It's fully adjustable, so it can fit up to a Nalgene water bottle, and you can mount it right here so you have it at the ready. And there's even 2 extra mounting points right here, maybe for a folding lock. Next are the pedals. These are quick release metal pedals. They offer plenty of grip. Be careful with your shins though. This also makes assembly super easy, and if you ever need to, you can remove them. No one else is using these types of pedals, at least that I'm aware of. Large kickstand located on the rear, and they're including Lectric's sleek style seat. Now we talked about comfort with the swept-back handlebars and adjustable stem, but this seat leaves at least a little bit to be desired in my opinion. So if your budget allows, you might want to pick up a suspension seat post. We sell the exact size that fits in the XPress. Let me give you a close-up of how this looks. Trust me, it is a game changer, and it's also available at shop.ebikeescape.com. On the frame, we have a Class 2 sticker, but removing this reveals a Class 3 sticker. So next, the motor. I said it's a 500-watt motor, but it's peaking at 1,092 watts. Stay tuned for our upcoming first-person riding footage to see just how powerful it is. And yes, shocking at this price point, it is engaged with a torque sensor. Gearing in the rear is 11 to 28 teeth, again 7 speeds. They're using Shimano Tourney, Shimano's most entry-level derailleur. Not surprising. Up front is a 46-tooth front chainring, dual-sided. They even have a rubber chainstay protector here. I didn't talk about fenders or a rear rack. Lectric might be including them depending on when you buy. You can check that out down in the description. Otherwise, $39 for the fenders or $60 for the rear rack. And there's mounting points right here. That's everything you need to know about the components. I can't wait to show you how this bike performs on the road. Let's get to it. All right, let's hop on and take this bike for a ride. I already have 17 miles on it, so I have a fairly good understanding of how the bike performs, and I can't wait to show you. Now, it's in stock settings, minus the fact that I changed the top speed to up to 28 miles per hour, so we can see how the bike performs. But stay tuned for after this first test, because we're gonna dive super deep into the P settings, because there is some stuff that you can customize that some people are going to want to know about. But for now, our throttle only test, I have it in pedal assist level 5 so we can get the maximum amount of power from the motor, and then we'll go through all the pedal assist levels. I have the GPS speed to compare to the Lectric display. Right hand thumb throttle. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, throttle only. Decent takeoff, peaking just shy of 1100 watts, 13, 15, 19, and there's 20 miles an hour. So 500 watts, but peaking just shy of 1100. Still plenty powerful. I can't wait to see how the 750 watt motor performed, if this is how the 500 watt motor performed. And be sure to subscribe, because we will be doing a comparison between the two of them. So I mentioned pedal assist level is tied to the throttle. So in pedal assist level 1, and I hold down the throttle, I'm only going to cruise at around 8, 9 miles an hour. In fact, it's going to kick off because it is speed limited. More on that a little bit later though, because you can change that. For now, pedal assist levels, let's go into pedal assist level 1. And I'll start from a stop. So this has a torque sensor compared to a cadence sensor, which is most common on budget-priced electric bikes. Now, what the torque sensor does is it senses how much pedal power I'm putting in, and it's going to amplify it. It should be a more natural riding experience compared to a cadence sensor, which is more an on-off switch. Simply detects whether you're pedaling or not. I'll talk about how it feels here. Pedal assist level 1, first gear, plenty sensitive. Felt the motor kick on, not a lot in pedal assist level 1 though. And right now, just spinning my legs nice and easy. And we're only using 30 watts of power. Now, pedal assist levels 1 and 2 are speed limited at 9 miles an hour, as we can see here. And pedal assist level 2 should be around 15. Let's go into pedal assist level 2. I do feel more power there. I need to shift up. We're using closer to 100 watts. Love that you can see that on the display. Third gear, nice and leisurely cadence, cruising at 12 miles an hour. And if I put in a little bit more power from my legs, getting closer to 200 watts, I'll shift up to fourth gear. So that's really the difference. You put in more power, you get more power from the bike. And actually, we got to that 15 mile per hour mark, so the motor started cutting off. That's what Lectric has decided to do, at least in the stock settings. All right, pedal assist level 3. Nice leisurely cadence at 15 miles an hour. And shift up to fifth gear. And more power from my legs equals higher speed, 20 miles an hour. I really like a torque sensor because when I'm riding with my wife, it's just much easier to modulate my speed and stay with her. So we're already hitting 20 miles per hour. Yes, I had to put in a little bit more effort, but that's only pedal assist level 3. All right, pedal assist level 4. Using around 300 watts of power and able to cruise at 16 miles an hour without too much effort. 17, 19, getting closer to 20 miles per hour. So what's nice is you don't have to provide a ton of power if you don't want to. But if I put in more power in pedal assist level 4, we're gonna go faster. There's 20, 21, let's shift up to 6th gear. And still providing an amount of power that I could still provide for a long time. 23 miles an hour, 24. Still only using 350 or so watts. All right, let's go into pedal assist level 5 and see how close we can get to 28. Still in 6th gear, cruising at 20 miles an hour. Should be able to see my legs. Nice and easy. All right, pedal power, here we go. All right, over 1,000 watts. 26. I'm gonna shift up to 7th gear. Love the gearing. Very appropriate for class 3 speeds. 26, 27, 28 miles an hour. So not too bad to get 28 miles per hour out of this bike. Let's do a brake test at this fire hydrant and see how these brakes do. All right, locked up the rear brake. Just a little bit, stopping power really good. All right, for the tinkers in the audience, let's go into the advanced settings. First, I want to talk about P22. So you know how in pedal assist level 1 and 2, I was limited at 9 and 15 miles per hour, both in the pedal assist levels as well as the throttle. Well, changing P22 will change that. We'll put on a huge chart which goes through all these details, and you can pause it so you can fully understand this. But what I really want to test out is P11, the multiplier. Let's go into the advanced settings, go to P11 here, and we'll change that to 1. We'll save the setting. Now, as I was going through all those pedal assist levels, I talked about how a leisurely cadence felt and how it felt putting in a little bit more power. The multiplier is going to change that a little bit. I should be able to get to even higher speeds with providing a little bit less effort. So for those of you who maybe prefer to put in less effort, maybe you want to turn the P11 setting to 1. Let's see how it feels. I'm particularly curious how it feels getting to 28, because you do need to provide some power to get to 28. Okay, here we go. Going to shift all the way down. Now we'll put on the screen the multiplier setting so you can compare and contrast. But pedal assist level 1, holding me at 9 miles an hour. Now, if I wanted to change that, I could change the P22 setting, and then I won't be limited to 9 miles an hour. But let's shift up into 3rd gear. Let's go into pedal assist level 2. It should be even easier for me to hit 15 miles an hour now, and then of course the motor is going to cut off, but you can change that. Let's shift up to 4th gear, and we're getting 150 watts. And again, I am just pedaling super easy so we can see what effect this multiplier has. All right, next, pedal assist level 3. Now we're not going to be limited on speed at all. I'm going to shift up to 5th gear, cruising at 15 miles an hour using 270 watts. Let's go into the 4th level of pedal assist. All right, hitting 18. I'm going to shift up to 6th gear. So it seems like similar speed. Just a tiny bit more effort though does get me to 22. All right, pedal assist level 5. And just spinning my legs nice and easy, using about 500 watts. Shift up to 7th. So with the P11 multiplier, I can cruise at 22, 23 miles an hour without putting in too much effort. All right, let's get to 28 miles per hour. Pedal assist level 5. Of course, 7th gear. $24, $25, there's 27, and 28 miles an hour. So if you want to customize your pedal assist levels just a little bit more, that is an option for you. All right, with that out of the way, let's see how this 500 watt motor does up our hill climb test. All right, that P11 multiplier was a subtle difference. I'm curious to see how it does on our hill climb test though, because that might be a perfect example of why you might want to change that multiplier. This is the hill that I test out all the electric bikes that I review on the channel, so you can compare and contrast. The GoPro makes it look so much smaller than it is, so I'll put up a picture as well as the specs of the hill. And we are in pedal assist level 5, just using that throttle for our first test. And we'll see what this 500 watt motor that's peaking just shy of 1100 watts can do. I have no doubt it will make it up, but what is the minimum speed? Now, I didn't talk about the riding position. I mentioned the swept back handlebars, but these are really swept back handlebars, super comfortable. I love these handlebars. Of course, that comes down to personal preference. 16 miles an hour, plus with the adjustable stem, you're just undoubtedly getting more with the step through. That's going to be my preference also for the accessibility. But I want to hear in the comment section, step through versus high step on the XPress, and are you considering getting the 500 watt motor or the 750 watt motor? And it looks like 16 miles an hour might be the minimum speed here. That is super impressive for a $999 e-bike, and I am super curious how much better the 750 watt motor does. All right, with that, we are at the top of the hill. I'm gonna go back down and we'll do the test again while pedaling. All right, P11 multiplier set to 1 because torque sensors on a hill like this sometimes can be a challenge because it's harder to get power from the motor. So you end up putting in a ton of power no matter what pedal assist level you're in, but we'll see how the XPress does. Pedal assist level 1, first gear, and spinning my legs, trying to spin my legs nice and easy. But this is where I would go into a higher pedal assist level. I could make it up this hill in pedal assist level 1, but it would be a significant effort. Pedal assist level 2 felt a decent amount of relief there. Still in first gear and using about 300 watts. So this actually isn't that bad. I am just very easily spinning my legs. Now I'm not going fast, only 6 miles an hour. Let's go into pedal assist level 3, and this is amazing actually, because pedal assist level 3, first gear, I am barely spinning my legs and we are cruising up at 8 miles an hour. Nice job, Lectric, with this torque sensor. On other bikes, I would have to put in a lot more power from my legs to get a lot of power from the motor. So I could actually shift up to third gear. Let's go into pedal assist level 4, only going to get better from here. And 10 miles an hour. And again, I could put in more power and we will go faster. And actually not a ton of power. Let's go into pedal assist level 5. For fourth gear. So what I love is for people who are buying an electric bike that really need that extra assist for hills, but still want to pedal, but might not be able to put a ton of effort. So they're not sure if they want a torque sensor. The XPress has solved that. I don't know if it's the multiplier or if it's just the way the torque sensor is tuned, but this is a great hill climber. All right. With that, let's get into some third-person riding footage. I'll give you the pros and cons of the Lectric XPress. I'm just going to put this out there. The Lectric XPress is the best $999 full-sized e-bike, period. It's not without a few considerations, which I'll get into, but Lectric has something special on their hands here, and when I say best, I'm taking into consideration the whole experience. From buying from a reputable brand like Lectric, to their often praised customer service, to the unboxing experience, and then yes, the bike itself. The XPress captures what most people want in an e-bike. Firstly, not wanting to spend a lot, that magical $1,000 price point, but then you have what I view as a plenty powerful 500 watt nominal, 1092 watt peak motor, and that's not just on flat ground. Surprisingly, it can climb too. Sidebar, I'm super curious about what kind of power the 750 watt version packs, so subscribe for that. Second, the 10.4 amp hour battery is not huge, which is expected at this price, but it's not tiny either. The average rider is going on shorter rides anyway, and Lectric's claimed 45-mile range is reasonable, assuming the lowest level of pedal assist, of course, on flat ground. For more casual riding, 20 to 30 miles will be easy to achieve. Next, the riding experience is fantastic. thanks to that torque sensor, something that until now just hasn't existed at this price point. Lectric was careful to tune the torque sensor, where I think even those who enjoy their cadence sensor e-bikes from Lectric will still be happy with the performance of the torque sensor. Though yes, there's always the more powerful Lectric XPress 750. And finally, comfort. A nice upright riding position thanks to those extra swept-back handlebars with an adjustable stem. Plus, you get the step-through frame for increased accessibility. If you prefer a more traditional riding position, the high step is available too, though I think many will appreciate the creature comforts of the step-through. The ergonomic locking grips feel nice in the hand. The rest of the bike has some nice surprises as well. Quick assembly, which is refreshing for a direct-to-consumer brand. You have a color LCD display with a surprising amount of customization, Class 3 speeds, speed multipliers, even the ability to dial in pedal assist levels 1 and 2. There are hydraulic disc brakes, which have been normalized at the $999 price point thanks to Lectric. And then you have the entry-level Shimano drivetrain, which I think is just fine for recreational riding. But what Lectric really got right was the gearing for speeds up to 28 miles per hour. Okay, so you've been waiting for this. There has to be some kind of catch here, right? Well, no catch, but here are a few things to be aware of. No included fenders or a rear rack, at least at the time of recording. Check the description for the current accessories Lectric is including. The fenders and rear rack will set you back $39 and $60 respectively. Also, there's no 4-bolt pattern on the head tube to mount Lectric's front rack. While you technically have 2 frame options, which I like, you're really limited on colors. Step-throughs get white and high steps get black. And keeping things simple is not new for Lectric across the lineup. Finally, this is more of an FYI. The XPress uses a right-hand thumb throttle. It's actually one of the better thumb throttles in my opinion, but if you're set on a twist grip throttle, maybe you should pick up the XP 3.0 after all. If I've helped you with your e-bike purchase, I just have one favor to ask of you. Click our link down in the description before you make your purchase. Thank you for showing us some love. As Lectric tends to do, they've led with price, creating a superior spec e-bike compared to anything really anywhere near this price point. And now Lectric more than ever has an e-bike for everyone, from an electric trike to folding e-bikes to fat tire to lightweight, belt drives, and now something for those who want a full-size, city-oriented e-bike. I look forward to continuing the discussion down in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.